Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of the Smart Office podcast. Today, we're privileged to have Karen Mangia, founder and CEO of Powerful Policies. So, Karen Mangia, welcome. Karen, how are you doing today?
Great, thanks. It's great to be here.
Great. So, this is a new era in IT consulting and everything. There's lots of things happening. First of all, how do you, Karen, you spend a lot of time talking to leaders around the world. What excites you most about the shift happening right now in business and technology?
What excites me the most is the opportunity for every employee to make a bigger impact in the world of work
Right.
and experience less burnout in the process. That's what I believe technology is making possible for us right now.
Wow, that's good. That's good. There's a lot happening now in IT, in technology. So, first of all, can you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us about your company, Powerful Policies, and what you guys do, and probably whereabout you are.
Yes. I have spent my entire career in the technology industry. I was fortunate to be at three very large companies, AT&T, Cisco, and Salesforce, before I joined a technology startup company. And during that time, I had the opportunity to help build and bring a multi-agentic AI solution to market. So
Wow,
right
exciting.
in the heart of what
Yeah.
people are really excited and talking about right now. I've had this business, Powerful Pauses, for a number of years, headquartered in the United States, and I do business all over the world. And inside of that business, I do a variety of IT consulting,
Hmm.
leadership, coaching, and development. Because at the end of the day, yes, we have new technology, and also people really matter. And we can't lose sight of great leadership skills, great teaming skills, and great critical thinking skills as all of these new technologies come to market.
Right. Wow, that's cool. You've worked with major global organizations, so that's huge. What mindset shift do IT consultants need to adopt to win in this AI?
It's time to think differently about your value proposition.
Right.
As a consultant, what you know, that intelligence, your lived experience, that's what you can monetize.
Right.
And today, in the day and age when people can use ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot to access what they believe to be insights and intelligence, it's critically important to think differently about not only the value you provide, but also how you articulate the value you provide. At the
Right.
end of the day, nobody wants to pay for something they feel like they could get on ChatGPT.
And yet, yeah, exactly. So it's a value proposition right there. But there's one thing that keeps coming up. Many consultants fear AI would replace them, right? Like people can easily go on ChatGPT or REST and get the answers, get a solution. How should enterprise consultants, how should they reframe that fear into opportunity? How can they change that, transform that into an opportunity?
AI is an opportunity to be better at the job that you do.
Yeah.
Here's how I think about AI. AI frees you up from doing lots of mundane and routine tasks
Right.
that before could have consumed your time. This frees you up as a consultant to do two very important things. Number one, deepen the relationships with the human beings inside of the clients that you serve. ChatGPT will never answer a phone call from your client at 10 o'clock at night when they have a big presentation the next day and they need some
Right.
help. You
That's
have
right.
the opportunity to become more efficient and to repurpose that time into relationships. Secondarily, wow, we can all be better and more articulate communicators when we take something we've created and leverage the technology and tools that exist to better tune the messages we want to deliver to our audiences. So I think about the really smart consultant, thinking about AI as just having your own team of people that can help you be better at what you do and free you up to use more of your value skills.
Wow, that's a lot of people. There's that fear now, in the market. People are like, there's some talk in the market. People are like low level jobs and some level of automation, a highly automated working environment, repetitive tasks being taken over by AI, and people are kind of nervous about especially losing opportunities. There've been some talk about guardrails and governance and things like that. Some states were talking about regulating AI because it's catering to the top tier. And so many consultants are nervous about that, and they are thinking of transform. But from what you're saying, they need to leverage this into an opportunity. Would you elaborate more about how consultants can make the most out of this AI evolution?
Become a pilot. I mean, think about what a pilot does every day, right? A
Yeah,
pilot gets inside of this amazing machine. Sometimes we forget how
right,
amazing it is that we can catapult through the air from one place to another around the globe.
right,
But inside of that pilot mindset is a sense of adventure, a desire to go places, a
right.
sense of experimentation. And every great consultant right now is becoming the pilot leader of their team to show their team how to use AI in a productive and purposeful way. These are the people that show up at their clients and they don't pretend like AI is not out there.
Yeah,
They embrace it and say, what could we try together? What could
right.
this be? What could we discover? And that taking a pilot and experimental mindset says, let's walk into the unknown together and co create something. And when
Right.
we dive in, it's a little less scary. By the way, pretending like it's not happening doesn't make you any more valuable. It doesn't make the threat any less real. The
Right.
people who are really succeeding and excelling and bringing new value to their clients are experimenting. They're finding new tools and uses and applications and building pilots and experiments with measurements and metrics. It has to lead to something real, a real measurable business impact, and then leading the charge on exploring this brave new world out there.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Fair point there. Now, given your experience working with these major global companies and powerful and your long experience in AI or IT or consulting, if an IT consultant or small consulting firm probably asks you, where do I start? What would your simplest or most practical advice be?
The 5 minute fix. And here's what I mean by the 5 minute fix. Many times in life, we default to the grand gesture. We think we need to become the expert. I mean, we've got to write all the AI prompts. We have to figure out how to replace a full job. The reality is, if you think about what could you do with 5 people, $5, 5 minutes, whatever that looks like,
Right.
it encourages you to start small. A great example might be you want to train your Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, to be more in your voice. Well, in order to do that, you might pull a bunch of things you've written and feed it in there to say, this is my tone and style. That took 5 minutes. You learned a little bit. You tuned that tool to work for you. So think about what you could do just 5 minutes at a time, because we can all find 5 minutes. And also, we start to build momentum. You know, if I do something for 5 minutes every day, 72 days from now, I will have doubled my progress. That feels
You're
doable.
right.
Start by doing the doable.
That's good. That's a practical way. I mean, I believe we can all find 5 minutes in a day in this today's busy schedule. Everybody's running. This I do everything. It's a hurry, but I believe we could find 5 minutes to learn a skill. Now, I know we'll continue to talk about AI consultancy and things like that. It's the IT, especially the tech world, is really changing for sure. I mean, there's a lot of change going on. Businesses are nervous. People are thinking about how to incorporate AI. How can consultants use AI to position themselves as trusted advisors, not just service providers like before?
First of all, be honest about where you've used AI in your work.
Right,
One of the ways that we undermine trust with clients is by giving them something they very quickly detect we probably didn't create. And they think to themselves, I just paid you a lot of money per hour to
right,
put that into an AI tool. So, first of all, be honest about your use of AI in the solution that you're providing. Second, it's critically important to separate theory from application.
right,
So there are some consultants that will come in and do a great job, perhaps, of assessing your organization or your team or your function and helping you understand your best use cases, best measurements and metrics, and even go as far as recommending some solutions that you can try. That is a fundamentally different type of consultant than someone who can actually build and deploy that, capture results, and help you refine and do a rollout. I think also there's some importance on setting clear expectations about what your client needs. Are they looking really for baseline knowledge, understanding of opportunity, recommendation of metrics, or are they looking for someone who can apply that, implement it, help with some learnings, make adjustments, and then lead to a larger scale rollout. And it's critically important to clarify those. Both are valuable. It's just when you are paying for one and you get the other, you
Right.
feel like you didn't get what you paid for.
Yeah, I've seen situations where people feel like they didn't get value for money, probably because somebody implemented AI and probably they were counting on skills. And there's been that mindset now about adopting. Companies are trying to figure out where to position themselves, working with consultants, and consultants now are using AI a lot to enhance their work and to improve. I mean, we're at the end of 2025, probably we're done, and there's been a trend. 25 has been an impactful year in the artificial intelligence world, and clients expect speed and clarity. So, how do you see, or what role do you see AI playing in improving the customer experience? I mean, 2025, 2026, how do you see what,
First of all, this is a topic I'm incredibly passionate about. I think
right,
providing exceptional experiences to customers is what differentiates us.
right,
And people provide that experience more than a machine. It's just like going to a restaurant. When that server comes to your table, that server makes or breaks the experience you have at that restaurant, regardless of how great the food is. If you have terrible
right,
service, you'll think it's a terrible experience.
right, right,
Customer experience is the same way. No matter how great the product or service you're offering, it's the people that make or break that perception in your customers' minds. So, first and foremost, we have the opportunity to know our customers better and more quickly because AI can find out a lot about them. What might have taken me half an hour to research you for this conversation now takes 30 to 60 seconds.
exactly,
That's powerful for human connection and it frees up time for real conversations. So use the tools, right? People expect us, our customers expect us to know a lot about them. They don't expect us to have to explain what products or solutions they have or warranties or who they are and what they do and what they care about. Next is technology can help us keep a much better record of the experience and recommend next best actions to take. So for many years, we've talked in the customer experience space about predictive analytics, how to predict the future of human behavior, how to predict what might happen next. And with technology, with AI, we have the opportunity to take many data points and interactions with a client and recommend to that frontline person the next best step or two they can take to deepen that relationship, to be proactive, to intercept an issue that might be starting to simmer before it explodes. There are powerful ways to use this to deepen your human relationships and to be proactive and to provide exceptional service and to have seamless handoffs when someone new joins the team. That could be a new person you've added. It could be someone leaves, there's churn. AI makes this all so much easier. And it's an incredible opportunity to improve customer loyalty and really delight customers in every interaction.
wow, that makes a lot of sense. And to our listeners again, we're talking to founder and CEO of Powerful Policies, Karen Mangia. I mean, it's great talking to you. I mean, with a wealth of experience, given your background, I'm sure we're going to talk more about the company and what you guys do and how you help clients. But before then, there's been AI in its early stages. 2025 has been an evolutionary year. People investing, there's been investing and in AI, and companies are trying to get to a point where they could incorporate AI and be more competitive. But what's the biggest misconception businesses may have about using AI in consulting or in their businesses? Do you have any advice or any misconception? What is AI? It's like the gold rush now, but sometimes people get it wrong as well. How do you see what's the misconception?
The biggest misconception is that AI could be a one-for-one replacement with a human being like a consultant.
Right.
It's not right. Yes, there are aspects of every job that could be automated. That's always been true. There's lots of automation that has existed. What I will tell you is just go to ChatGPT and put in your own name. Ask ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini or your AI tool of choice to write a bio about you and then test how accurate it is. Now, I've done this. It has the wrong university for me. It's given me credit for things I've never done, for people I don't even know. So here's the reality. We cannot fully trust yet the accuracy
Right.
of that information that's coming back, which means that Your consulting client wants to pay you for 100% accuracy or as close as they can get. If AI is operating, depending on what you've deployed, at 70 to 82% accuracy, that is too big of a bet. That is too big of a risk for a client to take. So the biggest misperception is that this is a one-for-one replacement for knowledge workers. At the moment, I don't believe that to be true.
Okay, you don't think businesses can just most news outlets accuse AI of big tech companies churning or laying off people, and they accuse AI. What's your take on that? Do you think it's AI? Do you think it's because of automation? What's happening in the tech world?
We're really talking about trust. At the core of this issue is, can I trust the information and insights that AI is returning to me to the same degree I could trust a reporter from the New York Times or Fox News or
Right.
whatever publication you find to be credible with human beings? At the end of the day, AI is only as good as the data that goes into it. So if you put inaccurate or outdated data in, it will speed up giving you an output or a judgment call or an insight based on that. In theory, in media, for example, and with great consultants, and I think with great leaders, we fact check. We want to know that what we are presenting to someone is as accurate and true as we can prove it to be. And just as I gave that example of the wrong university, and I'm a person who's easy to find on
Right.
LinkedIn and all over Google and 6 books. If it can get something that small wrong,
Wrong.
imagine the implications of doing that for a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah, you could imagine that's true. I mean, there's been people talking about guardrails and governance and things like that, and liabilities. Liability issues. Those are things we have to really take into consideration in today's world of AI. But if you could give, as we round up this part, if you could give consultants one bold action to take this week to leverage AI, what would it be?
Try something new.
Try something new.
Find an AI tool you've never used before and
Right.
just try it. See what you discover and then go talk to your client about it.
Right.
Say, hey, I tried out this new tool. Here's what I discovered. Do you see an application for this? How would you make this better? Does this solve a problem for you? Get curious.
Wow, that's good. That's good advice. Let's talk. I want to talk a little bit about tech. A lot of tech people are out there. I have a tech background in the world of AI and things like that, and doing consulting, but I'm really curious to learn, curious to know from people like you who've been there before. How can consultants use AI to simplify their workflow instead of complicating it, like AI assistants, co-pilots everywhere now? What are the smartest ways that consultants can use these tools, use them daily?
Choose one and use it consistently.
Right.
And the reason I say that is because the more you use the tool, the more the tool learns you. So
Right.
you'll actually get better together the more you are consistent.
So you're training and it's
Yes, you
training
are
yourself.
training that model. You are
Yeah.
training it to become you, the second you. I think about having,
Yeah.
I guess, a digital twin, an assistant, someone who's working when I'm sleeping, I hope. And so the more you use the same one, the more you train the model, the more it learns your style, the better you get. Next, get ridiculously good at asking questions and creating prompts. Okay, if you and I are looking for the answer to the same question, let's say, what AI solution is best for managing timesheets? Okay, so if you're in consulting, right, you've got to submit so many hours per client.
Exactly.
And you and I both went to ChatGPT to look for the solution to that question. And you said in your prompt, what is the best AI-based tool for managing consulting timesheets? And you put that in. And then I put in, what is the best tool in December 2025 for managing IT consulting time cards for Fortune 500 consulting clients? We would get different answers.
Different answers.
Yes. So your expertise that you inherently have from being great at what you do, the depth of your profession and experience needs to be reflected in the prompts you create and the questions you ask, because it's true of anything in life. The better the question, the better the answer.
Right. Wow. Okay. That's good. That's a good thing there, and something you need to work on your prompting, your engineering skills, and train your. So it's like you training your own AI tool. You train it yourself, it knows you, you know how to prompt it, and learn those basic skills. So to round up this part, what advice do you see, or what advice do you have for consultants who want to differentiate themselves going into 2026? We're in December of doing this podcast into December 2025. We want to go into 2026 with a fresh set of mindset skills, ready to combat what's coming after us. I mean, what advice do you have for consultants like getting into the next year? Would that be?
Look at your calendar, look at your to-do list, and look at all of the repetitive tasks that consume both your calendar and your to-do list. And in 2026, resolve to have AI take at least one of those off your list.
That's good. That's good. Wow. That's we need to let's see what 2026 give us. Again, we're talking with Karen Mangia, CEO and founder of Powerful Policies. This has been great talking to you. In the next part, next section, we're going to be talking about powerful policies, what you guys do, and things like that. So, guys, let's watch out for part 2 as we move over to the next session. Thank you.